Hi folks, very short one today. Tag, the Paratuber Tag. It's a pretty interesting word, isn't it? Paratuber. Anyway, going to do it today, so I'm going to have to read off this other iPad, which means I'll have to buy some really good type glasses, shouldn't I? How about that? Right. There's 9 questions, so how about that? It's alright, just being bloody stupid. 9 questions. Number 1, if you could use only one piece of paranormal equipment your whole life, what would it be? Do we use it? Take my glasses off to answer. Nothing, because you don't need anything. They're just tools, gimmicks, whatever you might want to call them. They're there, people use them, but you don't need them. So yeah, if I had to choose one to use all of my life, I would pick none of them, because I don't use any of them anyway. It still works. Right, number 2. If you could live in one haunted city location, what would it be? Well, I like living here. It's full of all my gothy world around me. So I feel comfortable here. So I like living here. Where else doesn't really matter. The spirit world is all around us. It's not just here or there, in that house, or in that park, or in that cemetery, or whatever. It's all around us. Put it in a nutshell, we frequent the same space, just don't see it. It's all around you. It's in your home, it's in your garden, it's in your street, it's wherever you want to walk. There's the spirit world, and you either see them or you don't, or sometimes see them or you don't, or you communicate with them or you don't. But that's why with lots of people it isn't that difficult to communicate, because we're there. We're not communicating with somewhere way out in space or another planet or whatever. It's here. So you don't need to be anywhere else. Be where you are. You're going to walk around, you're going to go out and different locations, but don't have to live anywhere else. So that's number 2. Number 3. How did you react to your first paranormal encounter? To be honest, a bit old in the tooth now, so I can't really remember. Probably lots of my very first encounters, which were probably when I was pretty flipping young. I seem to remember back, as I got older, looking back at things as a child, and things as a child that I took for granted. Older, putting a bit of a question there, saying, hang on, I remember that, I remember this. And this happens every time I flipping make a video. Bing! No, well, one of the first things that I do remember though, when I was younger, going back to visit what we called Nan, grandmother, we called Nan, and it's where I grew up from a baby. to a certain age. But I used to go back and visit her, and she had a, there's only one up, one down for older people, and there was a settee type thing in the living room. So if I stopped, I lay on that, and I remember this night laying on it, and all of a sudden it felt like somebody picked the foot end up and just lifted it about 2 or 3 feet off the ground, but quick. So I suddenly, you know, that happens to you, sort of lose your breath and go, what? That's what I felt. But as soon as I felt it, I just went back to normal. But I remember that happening. And the strange thing was, sometime later, my sister never seemed to go and visit. And I said to her one day, why the heck do you not go and see Nan anymore, you know, flip it, girl? And she said, don't like to, I'm frightened. I said, why? I said, when I stay there and I lay on that couch thing, so it feels like somebody gets hold of the end and flipping lifts it up. So yeah, that was one of the first that I really remember like that. But before that, there was things that happened, and as I got a little bit older, I did question why. Okay, but that was probably the first. I'm going to wring somebody's bloody neck in a minute. 4. What reactions do you get when people find out about your interest in the paranormal? Excuse me. It's difficult, really. I don't particularly go around telling people. I've done a few online. I've talked to people in reality about it. Generally find that people are pretty understanding and don't say much at all about it, but you get the impression that they're probably just going along with you, really. People that do understand a little about paranormal and everything, probably fine, but others, I think sometimes they want to believe what you're saying, but they're not quite sure. And then obviously, when I've had spirits come along that's had a message for someone, you have that dilemma then, that it's generally someone that's come into your life and you don't really know them very well at all. Maybe not even an acquaintance, but you know who they're talking about. And then you got that dilemma that the spirits come along and said, tell that person. And you're going, crap, how do I do that? I've got to walk up to this person and go, got a message for you. But it's always worked. It's a little bit more complicated than I've got a message, but it's always worked. They've always known what I've been talking about. And funny enough, out of anybody, they're the ones that you walk away and you know that they know what you was talking about, because they do. But apart from that, I don't really go telling anybody much. 5. Describe your feelings regarding the paranormal in one word. One word to describe it. Natural. It is natural. It's a natural thing. I don't see it as anything weird and wonderful, or even the word supernatural and all that sort of thing makes it very mysterious. No, I'll just say natural. if you could make one creature of legend, myth, real, what would it be? Nothing really. I don't have any desire to make anything of legend or myth real, and wouldn't do a lot of good if we did, would it? It would throw things out of balance, because it's not meant to be here. What would the purpose be of it? I don't know. If we did it, it'd probably be for our own satisfaction rather than anything else, I suppose. So I don't have any great desire to turn anything into reality. It'd be nice to turn some people in this world into some sort of bloody reality. I think we got enough problems with those. Do you have any haunted objects? Excuse me. At the moment, I would say no. I have had, but I think generally in the sense of residual energy, which it picks up and then it sort of plays back, or you feel it. So I've had objects that haven't felt that good, and you just know they've been in a place that has been full of negative energy, maybe a negative family, a negative person, whatever, but it's negative. And I've generally found that within a week that sort of dissipates and they sort of take on your place. So it doesn't seem to be a lasting thing that they keep to the forefront anyway. Maybe that's still recorded there, but it somehow starts recording your place and you don't feel that negative about it. And there was only that one thing that I spoke of in one of the films, which was about a skull that I had up there, and I couldn't find a blooming photograph or anything of it. But I will do something and put that up, because in the process of Facebook throwing stuff back at us from a few years ago, it did throw a picture up with it in. So I might revisit that. That really didn't have a nice feeling to it at all. An object as I can look at and go, yeah, that is definitely haunted and causes whatever. No, I don't think I've got one really, which is amazing really, the amount of second-hand stuff I bring into this place, really. 8. Do you believe in spirit animals, or have you had any experiences with them? Spirit animals I believe in, because they're a living creature like anybody else. Anything that lives because it's got a spirit, and the spirit's like the motor, the intelligence and everything that keeps it going. And once that spirit goes and leaves, the body just drops, like I said in one of my videos. It's like in a sense, part of the life force. So yeah, animals have a spirit. And you can look at an animal, and when you break an animal's spirit, you can flipping see. You can break an animal's spirit the same as you can a human being, which means that you work on them so blooming much. You don't only bring the body down, you bring the consciousness and everything in that person down, or that animal. So yeah, when they die, that spirit passes over. And I've said to people always ask that question, you know, will I ever see my favourite pet again? Of course you will. There's a spirit in that animal, and when you pass over, it'll be there. As far as for me, as far as a spirit animal being part of a person, I don't particularly believe that we've all got a spirit animal. We use our own consciousness, we use our own free agency and everything. You know, we don't have animals or anything that sort of there to influence or to turn or to whatever. But no, I don't particularly believe that. But as far as animals having spirits and being in the spirit world, of course they are. Why would there not be? They're a big part of this world. They're a big part of people's love in this world. Why would it not be in the spirit world, which is really a reflection of this one? It's not going to look a hell of a lot different. 9. Would you purchase and live in a house that was super cheap, knowing that paranormal activity was a daily thing and could not be stopped? Well, if I really needed to purchase a place and had the money, I wouldn't unduly let that stop me. And I don't believe there isn't a place that can't be stopped. If there's anywhere there's that sort of activity and it doesn't seem to be stopping, it's because nobody's stopped it. Every day spirits, like family that pass over, friends that pass over, people down the street, whatever, that pass over, it's no problem. If you've got really, really bad activity somewhere that isn't everyday spirit activity, that's evil. But even with evil, it can be shifted. So yeah, if I really needed a place and it was going super cheap, yeah, I would buy it. No problem. So there you go, folks. That's my 9 answers to the questions. I shall put the questions below there if anybody wants to have a go at it, and you can put over your viewpoint. But that's the way I see it. So folks, have fun, don't do anything I wouldn't do. So this is Kilted Guff. Love you. Everybody else, sort of love you too. Just maybe behave yourselves.